As it is, though, they will start in the basement for the strictly business defense. Bringing a castle to the table is something which we've started to see on all platforms now as the meta for, well,
protect your bombs from being defused
everyone
by attackers.
to start locking things out. And we've seen some teams use it, in fact, on the main meeting room location. Barricade themselves here from the lobby and lock themselves down on this, break the trapdoors and use that as a rotate down on towards B as a novel new attempt. Whether that's what we see here today, we'll wait and find out. As it is before, strictly business setting up pretty standard defenses in the downstairs, just fully reinforcing this back end of the corridor by construction and knocking that out. Destroys a lot of very big sight lines if they come in through this way in towards the B site. Upstairs we do have C4 hole made between kitchen and meetings. So that's going to open up a very nice path for any roamers that are left upstairs, and right now it is looking like it's going to be Ava, Marco Polo and Perseus, so a 3-man roam squad. The important thing to note here is that Ava is also down to 50% health right now. The C4 not really doing him too many favors.
And that shotgun almost did,
that nearly did the same to Perseus, yeah.
A little overzealous with those holes. They're excited. They're excited for the Pro League.
Yeah, but with leaving these 3 players upstairs, all Myth have to do, drone them out, find them. Hell, Tornado's up here too. Drone them out, find them, and then push on to B. We've seen this and said this time and time again. Hell, they could even make a rush to A if they get down those stairs quick enough. Teams are trying strategies like this. Teams are trying the multiple roamers, trying to stop people getting inside the bombs and inside the maps by putting all these roamers up here. But if those roamers are found, it's easy to exploit. As it is, though, right now for Myth, they have gone in from the floors above and do not seem to have realized how many roamers are here. They're going to try and fight them out instead. Perseus is being spotted out by Mina, and now the drone will find Marco Polo as well. Jay sprints straight into that kitchen and will get murdered by the shotgun in doing so. Marco Polo, yes, stopped to shoot the drone for a little while, then stopped to reload, but the entire time Jay was just sprinting through the map, taking ages to get there. Ava grenaded straight down to death, thanks to having half health, probably making that a bit easier. Now Mina's going to make a push on in as they drop from the room above. Wow!
Okay, all right.
I'll take luckiest man in the game for 500.
Yikes.
Drops straight on in, and the first unscoped bullet before he gets down lands right in the head of poor little Bandit. Now he's even just sitting in the doorway too, not crawling away to safety. Now realizing he can do that as Valkyrie is starting to find him, gets flashed out himself and is being pushed on into by Beastly. But despite that flashbang landing perfectly, he's not going to push the advantage any further. Digital on the backside.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was filth. Digital now has let him get away, and it is still back to being a 3v3. Tornado still on the floor above here in the tower. Does now start to head his way down. Marco Polo still holding tight here, waiting for the push to come through. Look at the angle he's got here with 2 ways to cover, but ultimately both dream for shotguns. And as he sees Digital come back up the stairs, he grabs one, finds Beastly in the middle of planting a thermite charge, and is a little bit unlucky with his aim, but does lose his life for it as Tornado will now come around behind them once more from exactly the same angle. Find Beastly on the trapdoor, middle of the plant. It's a free kill. Sprints past the doorway and past Minard again, and he's already low enough that 2 shotgun blasts will deal the day, and Minard does not get another lucky headshot.
I think one was more than enough for the Pro League tonight.
Yeah, that'll do. That's it for the day.
That's all we need, especially from Blackbeard, no less.
So that was round number 1. That was a strictly business heavy roamer, and it was a lot of effort and resources committed from Myth to dealing with them.
Right.
And well, they couldn't. They had 4 of them up there, and there was 1 left by the end of the game. So,
and they were a little,
that was all it took.
Both heavy resources yet not too coordinated with it. The Blackbeard push should have not even yielded as powerful as it was. I mean, he kind of sort of just ran in there. He had a great spot on the stairs. It was a great spot to kind of choke out the person in the bathroom. They just needed a way to make who was it? Was that Bandit in there? I can't remember which player it was that he had shot because they just dissolved so quickly.
It was Bandit. Random
yeah.
shot, yeah.
Once he couldn't get Bandit around the corner, he just sort of walked in through the barbed wire, which, again, not the brightest thing to do with Blackbeard. And given that free, easy headshot, I think it still was sort of just a rushed play to try to get them out. They weren't working with all the time that they had.
Myth then starting their defensive campaign by going towards the top floor. They are up against an IQ and Ash composition, so very, very speedy.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see how they choose to use it. To be fair, Myth got inside this building very, very quickly on their last attack run, coming into the bedrooms above and then dropping straight down the stairs. How do they choose to play their defense with that way? We're used to seeing a lot of these teams, I mean today, the last few games in European Xbox with very static gameplay from our squads, despite playing maps like House that are very, very small. But then we see Myth here coming in very, very quickly at the start of the day and becoming very aggressive. How do they then choose to take that over for their defense? Right now they do have that shotgun sitting right behind what is Ash up on that little roof. Out the window goes a C4 and it flies straight over Silent Rage's head and he gets away with it. He continues peeking on through. There's actually 2 people in that room. The grenade will come through from underneath there and take Beastly down. And the second one will finish him off. Nicely done by Tornado, but now Menard is terrified and prone inside the room itself. Once more scared that he is the only man now firing at Silent Rage's shield, and that makes it very easy for Silent to deal with him. Now has to be a little bit cautious of what's coming the other way as his team are falling back from other locations. Perseus does come out of the tower and now opens that up. Digital, what the hell was that range? Shoots straight out of the mini tower to here with his shotgun and 2 pops Ash.
With an auto.
With the Spaz 12, yeah. Jay at the same time just slaughters Silent Rage and Perseus as they try and come into the kid's bedroom upstairs. Tornado now looking to hunt the shotgun and does come around the corner with the drop on Tornado on Digital, but cannot land the headshot, and that gives Digital time to react and put him down himself. And now with 4 players left to find, Marco Polo is on a mountain. Right now it's just a case of do I want to delay for this entire minute, or do I want to go find Digital and end this round quickly? Because him in a 1v4 with Thermite shotgun on this bomb site is
not promising.
Not something we're going to see happen today, to be completely honest. With all the best wishes. And
I have faith in Marco Polo. I think he's got it.
All right, you take the round.
I'm not going to write him off.
I've heard you play-by-play. And I'd love to see it continue.
I didn't say I wanted the play-by-play.
Up then the back stairs he looks to go, but there's a hell of a lot of barbed wire waiting for him, and as soon as he touches this Rook is going to hear him. There we go. React, peek, and straight into the shotgun. He baits it nicely, but there's always going to be a second man there when you're 4v1.
Yeah. And solid bait, but he did not have the reaction time on it. I mean, by missing that first shot, it should have been... Yeah.
Yeah. Having to take the second shot means he didn't have the time to react down and look for the next man coming his way. And
which inevitably would certainly happen.
Yeah. Maybe he wasn't expecting it quite that fast, but yeah, every second counts in a situation like that. Either way, the result is as I expected. 1 round apiece.
You let me down, Marco Polo.
And we do head once again into a strictly business defense. This time they're going towards the top floor, of course, having successfully held that basement. They cannot go there again. It's time now then to see how they hold the floor above. It was just done very well, ultimately by Jay, picking up that double kill inside the kid's bedroom windows. Sealed that round with the double headshot very quickly. But before that happened, there was a lot of people getting picked off a little bit too easily, perhaps, for his defending team. As it is, the defense for Strictly Business is looking very, very similar right now. Armory walls reinforced, walk-in wardrobe walls reinforced, master bedroom to the attic mostly reinforced. I'm expecting a C4 on this wall in a moment when everyone's got away and clear from it, rather than Ava standing next to it like last time.
I feel like that's definitely, we've seen a couple
teams. No, they're going to double reinforce it.
I feel like that's a spot you really should be able to play. I like having that extra hallway. It's a good rotation spot. It's a good having that extra person there. I don't know. It's haven't really seen any disadvantage to doing so.
No. So a couple of kill holes still being made then as the attackers start to push on forward and head towards the buildings. Unsurprisingly, they all go straight up this big tower at the back to begin with. Carnage going right in the top floor. Digital coming in below, and they will clean this out as a pair. this allow them to get up onto the kids' bedroom windows without fear of being shot straight in the back. But as it is, they have to clear all the way down in the basement, and Jay is going to be that man. He does die to Ava, but will down him at the same time, and immediately Minard and Digital spring into action to go and finish off and seal that kill. So it is 4v4, and they have killed off that roamer. That does give them the ability to put Blackbeard safely here on the windows next to Silent Rage when they're ready for that push, without fear of being killed from behind. The rest of Strictly Business still sitting safely inside A and B, just waiting for the push to come their way, as only a minute has been used off the clock. It's actually a very quick play once again from Myth. Not so much drones being used without getting inside the building first. Buck now making a couple of convenient holes inside the meeting before they realize that the attic is clear. Will drone up the back stairs, but walk straight into Rook once again. Minard coming up the big tower from the inside again, sees that kill hole into the meeting wall, is a little bit cautious about it, but they killed that man. Then heads up the tower a bit more. Beastly will drone the mini tower to his right, see if it's safe to go up towards the A windows. So, cautious once more.
A bomb has been located.
As Digital, in fact, find Tornado in through side the windows for kids. He's also managed to down Rook and spots another man trying to peek his way through as Minard pushes up to the connecting window here too on the roof. He's taking a lot of damage but dealt just as much to this Bandit on the inside. Bandit sprints across the gap again. He's on such incredibly low health. He's going to come out and try and deal with Blackboard and will get away with it. At the same time though, Marco Polo finished one more man and taking down Digital. Bandit being stuck out on that roof though puts him in a bad spot. Carnage, no worries whatsoever, sprints down Marco Polo while he's mid-reload, and with a shotgun of his own, seals the round and takes it for Myth. It's a satisfying noise.
Interesting little close quarter action in this game. A lot of just like flick chest down, which I guess, I mean, we do see a lot of the pro players on Xbox running lasers, and people have been knocking it, but I see a lot of hipfire kills.
Yeah.
And you know, they're, as long as you are aware that you're using the laser and you keep it pointed at walls when it needs to be and all that stuff, I mean, it doesn't have to give you away constantly. And if it gives you that extra edge to land that one extra bullet hip firing and get you that headshot that you shouldn't have gotten as Blackbeard, things like that, I mean, why not?
Yeah. True that. There's definitely been a lot less, I mean, in this situation, like there's a lot less sneaking around too, which is why you don't run a laser, right? You don't run a laser because you don't want someone to know you're hiding behind the corner, they're about to peek.
If you crouch walk for the first 2 minutes of the map and then someone just sees your laser coming, it's a big waste.
Yeah. The Myth especially are playing pretty damn fast and aggressive here, in which case a laser is not going to be what gives you away.
Right.
Same for the rumors on Strictly Business Defense. They have got Ava that was lurking down in the basement, but he wasn't running a laser. The guys that were in the very predictable bomb site spots that were going to get droned before they saw any kind of lasers or other thing. So yeah, it's not too bad of a trade if you're that kind of player.
10 seconds remaining.
And hey, when shotguns are reducing the spread when you aim down sights, why not get reduced spread when you're on hip fire as well?
Right.
So, Myth onto basement defense. There you go. They did defend the top floor successfully earlier and have now attacked it as well. They are playing a far more conventional basement defense, not reinforcing this trapdoor in the meeting though. Starting to see a few teams leave that one open, which to be fair, when you're leaving open all these, well, they've done 2 of them, a lot of these walls here. It's not giving the best of angles from the top down anyway. It doesn't really provide much knowledge or sightlines or danger to anyone that's inside the B site. As it is then, Marco Polo and Silent Range are pushing in from construction, blowing that wall open and then actually pushing into the red corridor. Silent Rage once again will be, of course, the Blackbeard player.
Attackers have located
Now this is open, he's using that sightline to fire into the main corridor. This is a small downside to Blackbeard. It takes a lot of his ammunition to get through a reinforced door.
Right, for how hard the bullets hit people, they don't hit doors any stronger, so 21 bullets go fast and they rarely open a door super easily.
Ava is going to be edging forward to crack open some barbed wire, and at the same time Silent is looking over the top of him to try and bait out anyone coming their way. Meanwhile, smoke downstairs is getting very low, but Digital, having broken the own trapdoor they left sealed, has managed to pick up the first kill into Blackbeard from the top down. It's now looking to flank around towards the tower. We'll find 2 people in here, but just tags the IQ without any further follow-up and gets finished off herself. Downstairs, however, they have revived the little smoke, got him back on his feet. He's still got 3 charges left to his name, as Tornado will help them out with a nice team kill onto Perseus, having taken down Jay quickly before. Perseus, of course, sprinting in front of his teammates' bullets. As you do. He will now drone down the stairs for the rest of his team. Ava is still peeking in and spraying behind the spraying behind the shelving unit preemptively. Frost is hiding behind there, but none of those bullets are anywhere close. And there he takes a beating from Minard as he tries to sprint the other way. Inside the barbed wire now goes Marco Polo. He's trying to use it to bait Beastly out. Does look away just as he stands up. Takes out Jaeger system, sees Beastly this time around. Beastly stands up into his fire for the next shot. Minard is firing and wasting a lot of ammo on it at the same time, and now Ava looking to peek across the gap at the same time. Marco's reloaded, will push straight in. Minard team kills Beastly with his smoke, but ultimately Beastly was dead anyway. It's just a necessary smoke to try and stop this plant, and it will help out as the plant does get stopped by the rushing Rook, but Rook has nowhere near enough health to stay alive against the split Strictly Business Pincers, and Marco Polo seals the deal with the final kill. And a lot more hipfire. Why?
I just think it's easier with the sticks. I mean, I don't know. I have not used.
Yeah, but he missed him with every hipfire shot until he went aim down sight, and then he got hazy kill. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
that situation, like he wasn't even looking. You had all the time in the world to aim down sights and get that shot accurate.
Couldn't handle
that
the
one I
pressure.
don't agree with.
Couldn't handle the pressure.
No. Either way, we're back on even terms. Strictly Business with a good push in towards the B site, which, to be fair, is quite surprising because we rarely see B pushes succeed on that map when you've got that many people downstairs. It's a very nice salt to hold.
It's that
when you've got the numbers down there.
It's like a very niche, like an opportunistic push, and they kind of didn't have the opportunity but did it anyway, and it worked out.
Yeah.
You know, like you said before, it's that, oh, we've recognized that they have 2, 3 roamers upstairs. They're very weak on the B side. The couple they do have are set up for A. Let's just, you know, open it up and go in. And that was not the case at all for this one, but it still managed to, they still managed to get around from both sides, pincer them in just the perfect timing that worked out and wiped them clean.
Yeah. I did like the Valkyrie play onto this trapdoor, waiting upstairs and using it to try and catch him by surprise, but didn't quite get as much damage done as I think she would have liked.
So far, I think we're, with seeing more and more teams using it, I have a feeling opening those trapdoors and playing the roamers more there is going to continue to keep becoming the meta for defending this bomb site. It seems to be the most effective so far.
Once again then, Strictly Business playing 2 players, 3 players upstairs. Tornado in fact might be joining them too. Yep, 4 players on the upper levels. Marco Polo and Perseus in the same spots they were before. Ava staying inside a meeting room this time around, does have the trapdoor blown open already for him to escape. And Tornado, while he's playing on this floor, is close to rotate down through the tower anyway, especially as Jay is now cracking open the doorway right next to him, and he's got to be cautious of that man coming in.
Oh my god, Jay.
Jay doesn't realize that he's in here as far as I'm aware though. I think I saw a drone come in and find him. Now that those shots have gone off, Tornado definitely knows he's there, and yep, he's now waiting, peek in this corner. Jay begins to crack the barbed wire open, gives anyone else an escape in. Tornado comes up to deal with him and gets an easy kill as Jay did not even seem to be paying attention really. Then gets back onto the stairs into safety as the next man's going to come down from the floor above him. And is ready for that man too. Perseus still in the kitchen, does have Marco Polo here with him, but Ava has been taken out of the meeting room at the same time by Carnage. But where? How did you die to this man? Did you try and push him? And if so, why? Perseus, though, is flanked around and taken down a kill of his own now. From the kitchen into the main lobby, and it is that man, Blackbeard. Get a good flank on and shoot him in the side of the shield, and now fall back into the kitchen as once again, Myth did not seem to have droned properly to find all these players, and are just one by one exposing themselves to them. Digital now deciding it's time to drone in towards the meeting hall, but at the same time, Carnage is taking down Tornado right at the bottom of the meeting room stairs in towards the red corridor.
And with the skeleton key in the face.
He He's looking to run away. So you going to hold here with a shotgun? I got a shotgun too. Does go for Marco Polo and just in time managed to rescope. But Perseus will immediately turn out and trade him back as Beastly then gets the 2-man down and finishing that kill off. They do manage to save Carnage's life and in the meantime get 2. So it's a nice attempt at a double-man push from Strictly Business's 2 remaining roamers. But the aim just worked out for Myth that time around and they came out on top with 2 kills of their own. Not sure I completely agree with pushing at that point. You're on the defense. They were about to make their move in and expose themselves to you. Just getting a little bit impatient. Now Silent Rage has to kill 3 of them. 30 seconds for him to hold them off and stop the plant. Trapdoor has been blown open. There's 2 still above him. And then it's just Beastly here on the stairs. Down behind him though has come Carnage. He's going to hear him but get taken out quickly. Does land a couple of shots. Beastly now still on the stairs. Is going to have Sledge come and back him up. Silent going to reposition towards the corridor. If he catches him by surprise, which he does, he's going to grab 1. And he gets Digital as they line up. And Silent, 3v1 with 2 headshots to seal the deal. Puts Strictly Business back on top.
That is the second time we've seen a devastating Rook comeback. Remember that that one in first season? I think he got a 4-piece. That Rook on Cafe. I forget who was playing Rook at the time, but another beautiful clutch by Rook.
That Cafe was K9 on PC.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that was PC.
That was week number 1 of the PC NA League.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. And now we are looking for Myth to defend the top floor again. Didn't work out too handy for them, but they got the job. They held it tight. Mainly because Jay slaughtered people trying to come in through the kid's bedroom with his 416. A mistake which I'm pretty sure will not be made again by the attacking team.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Let's see if they adapt their defense in any way. They did seem to have a tough time playing as static as they perhaps need to be. This is a top floor bomb site which, to be fair, has a lot of room for maneuvering once you've been droned, once you've been found. And in some of the spots up here, you still don't even need to move when you've been droned and found. You still have the advantage for when the attackers come in. So being the mobile and being the anxious team they are, doesn't really fit their nature.
10 seconds to go.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
5 seconds left. Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
So
Why do I hear people yelling already?
Yeah, I was a bit confused by the yelling. We'll see. Jay currently peeking out the window by Armory to look towards the construction spawn, but there's no one close. As it is, who's got the damage? Yeah, we go. Carnage took a single point of damage by the looks of it. Not entirely sure why, but he did. They're making some crawl holes then between the A and B sites. Beastly is there staring at one into kid's bedroom here. They're also then making one here from the secondary dorms towards A to give Carnage a potential escape or a way to at least prone and fire into this walk-in wardrobe should it get broken open. Menard has barricaded himself in here and will not hide in this corner spot. It's a position we've seen to be very strong on both consoles in the past.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Had bullet shields thrown at it in some situations that just couldn't shake it away. Now we see no one in the mini tower, which is what punished Ava last time around, but this time there's a drone there waiting. So now he is up here on this window, destroying or trying to destroy frost traps. Has to throw a smoke grenade to destroy the next charge of that trophy system. Now we'll destroy frost traps and barbed wires.
Oh yeah. Thought I heard it again. It's like, how? Alright.
Now going to try a top-down view to check it's clear. I thought it was going to go upside down and peek in here at the same time and try and take down Carnage, but they also now know that Digital is very close by and in that room. He gets in and gets behind the mattress. It's not bulletproof though. C4 going to go out the kid's bedroom window from Beastly once again towards the Blackbeard. Again, there it flies over his head and lands short. Now going to dance left and right across the window, trying to take Silent Rage down, and ultimately is coming out on top here with the damage done. Backs across to the next side and goes down to the floor below. Digital has peeked on out and killed Perseus from the A window, but gets down for his trouble by Ava, and they've also downed Rook just behind the A bomb. Tornado will get him with a grenade. In Ava goes, and he's got the diffuser. Sprints into the kid's bedroom and now finds the trapdoor has been opened up and realizes this is where they've gone. Gets the plant in here though, and that gives Blackbeard a good window position to try and defend it. But Menard is managing to get on in. It's a lot of shots straight into the bed, but the plant is stopped all the same. And as Beastly tries to flank up behind to Tornado, they immediately just turn the tables back on the attacking team. Marco Polo now pushing from Armory, only has oh, to be fair, has the whole health for his team in his hands. Silent Rage gets inside through the window, and as soon as he leaps on in, the shotgun is there through the floor to take him down. Now Beastly's just waiting for the call that Marco Polo is pushing up, and then he'll peek out. Minard is in a great spot behind this bomb, and that will delay Marco's push the entire way. He's going to head forward first, tries to bait out the peek from one end, sees Minard behind the bomb, pre-fires it, but misses completely, and Minard is a free kill to give Myth the round and secure it for defense. A round which by no means they should have won, being 4-2 down.
No, it seemed like such a smooth attack.
Previously, this game has come down to super aggression, roam players, and just, in many situations, bad aim.
Yeah, it seems
more than any kind of strategy this game has had so far.
Which is something I feel we've always given a little more credit to NA Xbox over EU, is most of them seem to have the better aim. You know, like we saw, I think, the most impressive team play out of teams like Vitality and stuff, but as far as like individual aim goes, a lot of times feel that kind of goes to the NA PC or NA Xbox teams. And tonight we're not seeing it so much. A lot of just like panic hip fire, lucky or not so lucky shots to end gunfights.
So, back into attack go Myth. The defense for Strictly Business will be this top floor again. Last time
Attackers
around,
need to locate and defuse bombs.
they had a pretty solid hold. Marco blows a C4 without hitting his teammates this time over. We're getting improvements. They did also completely reinforce the walkway into the attic last time. Now Tornado is cracking a big hole in it, and we'll use that to get in and out.
Activating camera. ATS active in this sector. Unspooled some wire.
And this time not reinforcing. There we go. Reinforce the other side now for the safety. Reinforcing armory, reinforcing mastery bedroom as well. Nothing too surprising in there. And now let's see where they begin.
5 seconds.
They left 4 players upstairs last time. They sent Perseus, no, it was Ava last time, down into the basement as the single roamer. He did take down Ash when he went out, but ultimately traded 1 for 1. Not the worst situation for him to be in, but could have been better. This time, however, he's staying a little bit closer to his team.
They're sitting very close.
Taking it in turns to go in and out of that attic walkway, and then realizing they've completely missed reinforcements here in the walk-in wardrobe. We'll come back and do this a bit later, but as you mentioned, they're still very clumped up right now due to these delays. And they are all looking to stay on the upper floors this time over. And that means Myth have droned out and deemed the tower safe. Jay gone in through the construction basement and gone up through that way as well. Minard pushing in from construction will check through the garage. And Digital is going to watch the attic window before then rappelling on up to the kid's bedroom in just a moment to deal some damage into that B-bomb site.
Drone is ready. Look out. It's live. Launching drone.
Inside the meeting room, then it has Digital drone leading the way for him. As he gets the all clear to push forward towards the lobby, he will go.
Mag change.
Bomb located by attackers.
They drone elsewhere. Jay still waiting for that potential flank. Beastly still droning in the attic. Mina running all the way around to the mini tower now. Going around again towards the kid's bedroom windows where he's going to join Digital as Carnage and Jay begin to start that push through the meeting hall towards the main lobby perhaps. Or in fact, Carnage, you've been waiting? Yeah, Carnage just waiting here for that man that might drop through that trapdoor or come down through the meeting later on. Jay is now inside there, so Carnage is free from that location. Again, the first damage applied to Minard in these kid bedroom windows, but last time around, every time you just strafe across the window firing at a Blackbeard, he's going to fire back, and this time around he does win out over Tornado. Tornado does not deal much damage at all, and Minard downs him and finishes him off with ease. Now Jaeger forced out of that corridor thanks to this angle. Minard can hold from outside. Digital going to drone out and find Jaeger's location inside that other site. He is, of course, prone behind that reinforced wall. It's the only safe spot he can be in right now. Minard will spray him down if he reveals himself either other side. And he knows it. And while that's happening, that gives Digital the time to rotate around to this window, crack it straight open. And suddenly, Jaeger is in a very tough spot. Waiting for him to peek around. He's hidden behind this mattress for now. But it is not bulletproof. And all it's going to take is a spray through there in a moment, or Digital to come on inside. Jaeger now repositions, goes in to shoot the frost trap. Is he going to get shot as he ducks away from it? They've only got 7 seconds. They've got to get a move on. Does now get taken out by Jaeger, as it gives him all the time in the world to deal with him. And on 2 seconds, up comes the last man. It is Thermite to kill Aver, but is immediately traded out by Silent Rage. And ultimately, Myth just ran out of time.
It's one where they were getting the right positions like usual, but I feel their time management was not there at all this time around for Myth.
Now, Myth back on to defense. Now remember, if Myth win this, we will head to overtime and require another remake. If Strictly Business do secure it though on attack, that will be this map done and complete. We'll also need another remake, but we will be then heading to map number 2, which is Canal. A map which in some ways plays similar to this due to the spread out nature of the 2 buildings.
Right. But I'd definitely argue very differently, just in the sense of being almost kind of like 2 maps, like you said before.
It's interesting watching some teams completely drone out the opposite building before heading across to the other one, the main objective room.
Yep.
Other teams just completely ignoring it, depending on the research they've done against their opponents, or how confident they are with dealing with someone that's maybe peeking or flanking, or as we mentioned, when there's a lot of roamers, when people are not focusing their defenses very well.
Right.
Straight up ignore them and go straight for the bombs.
Yeah, because if you can get in without the roamers being an issue, then the roamers just become useless defenders that are way too far away from the objective.
So once again, Digital is up in the meeting room. He used this trapdoor to look down through and try and punish the attackers last time around, but it didn't work out too well for them. The rest of his team still holding around in the basements as Jay comes down from the floor above to now sit on that stairwell. Digital in fact going on down now, and they will end up with all 5 down in the basement. So they're going to play a super defensive round here for Myth. They know they have to hold this to stay on this map. Now, Strictly Business are pushing in from the kitchen and the dining room. They're going to have Ava and Perseus both clearing these rooms pretty quickly and easily. They are both 3-speed operators, so it does not take them too long, but Ava's carrying the diffuser, which is a little bit of a risk, but ultimately gets in safely, as they did have drones leading the way as well. So into the main lobby they are, and now look underneath you. That is a lot of Myth players in a very small
just in
space.
A straight line. That's definitely an interesting defense strategy.
Ava checking out the meeting hall behind them, realizing that that is click. Clear. And now Silent Rage gets on in and will be the point man down those stairs once they've cracked this open. C4 straight up through the hole as soon as it's blown open by Menard, takes Tornado down. Now drone down to try and find out where it's clear, but with the sledge gone, there's 2 important grenades out of the picture. Menard sitting comfortably and safely here in the blanket corner. Even leaving a drone behind. Perseus also going to drive one this way, but take his all the way down to see what it is that will be waiting for them underneath. It is Digital first. They're in the red corridor. Sees the drone and takes it out as Marco Polo looks to pressure on the front stairs again. Cracks it open successfully as another smoke comes out now, and Carnage is pushed up these stairs. Frost trap taken out with ease, but Carnage gets Ava as soon as he gets far enough up. Marco Polo is going to chase in and look after him and will not get there in time, and that gives Carnage an easy re-peek to get the kill. Suddenly there's only 2 attackers left up. Silent Rage is now alone as Jay is taking Perseus out on the backside. Another smoke goes out and sits right on top of Silent Rage. He's down to half health, and as he tries to run away, Carnage peeks up the stairs for a free kill and forces us in to overtime. OT. So,
it's going to be remake time.
Should be. Unless they're okay taking the laundry room supply room for their first overtime selection, in which case we can delay the remake for a little bit longer. We'll see how they are. Myth, however, having already got that bomb site locked for their next defense round, may want the remake afterwards, should they want it.
See what happens.
We'll let them go through until they request it, of course, rather than forcing them out. Let's see how that unfolds, because now Strictly Business are looking down towards the basement themselves, and they've had some interesting defenses of it before.
Defenders,
With
protect
mixed
your bombs
success.
from being defused by
They've
attackers.
of course got that castle again for Tornado to set up a couple of funnels and choke points in the backside in construction. And everyone else then rushes straight on up top. They also ran a 5-man defense of the basement last time, leaving everyone downstairs inside the objectives. Now, it didn't work out so well for them, as despite a hard push onto B from Myth, a bomb site which is normally considered easy to hold should you have the numbers downstairs, Strictly Business just couldn't land the shots and gave it up.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Turn around now.
Objective is to locate a bomb
Polo and
defuse it.
Perseus are staying up top again. Aver in the meeting hall as well, is doing the last second reinforces. Tornado once more on the back stairs. And here comes the Myth push once more from the back tower. Myth going to rappel on up. Beastly will see Tornado running up the stairs on his drone, and that gives Jay a chance to stay away from the window, but Tornado's going to push it on forwards. Jay dodges around it, and Tornado realizes that he has been droned out. And he will head on down to the floor below. Still trying to take this drone out, but it is chasing him down. Up into the floors above, Jay has successfully got inside then, and will now go on board with him as he's looking to hunt this shotgun down from above. There's also got Ava on the other side of this wall inside meeting that could come around and flank them if they are not careful at any moment. Tornado, they're peeking up, takes a little bit of a shot from above. Ava still ever so close. Coming out that doorway and looking through this kill hole is Jay already waiting. Perseus at the moment still in kitchen. He does also still have Valkyrie there with him. Ava edging around a little bit, does just dodge away those shots right past his feet. Perseus and Marco Polo in the kitchen and the toilets. Ava still holding firm here in construction, in meeting hall, waiting for Carnage to drop through those trapdoor, which he just watched open up. They don't know exactly where Ava is. They've droned that he's in here, but other than that, they can't be sure. And right now, they're down to losing up just over half their time.
Drone's up and running.
Trying to find him. Marco Polo in the meeting hall now, as well as the drone does come in. Carnage spots him straight away, but didn't see the other man. He drops in now. He's going to get crossfired from either side as Jay finally kills Tornado. So that's the castle gone and one more shotgun lock to deal with. Marco Polo and Ava repositioning, and Menard comes in from the back side of the hall just in time to drop Ava down. Will not grab Marco Polo. Carnage, you're going to come in to try and secure it. Not just yet. You'll stay up top and find Perseus, and you do secure that kill as Menard falls back to safety. So they are starting to deal with these roamers quite nicely, and with only a minute left, it's not so bad. If they do kill the last two, they can get downstairs and be 5v1 with ease. Ava then still in the garage. Marco Polo on the top floor. And well, Myth now actually have a free path in towards the B bomb site, and Silent Rage, that's the last man in there defending it, if they want to take it. Ava has come down the front stairs now and is back within the A site, does clean out that drone and give his position away in the process, but he's now trying to do what he can to stay close to the left hand side and realizes that's too late, that you can't vault up there. And he is shut down and out. Silent Rage now alone inside B. He's going to stand on top of the grenade to go out and stop the diffuser. Does stop the first one. Can't get the second kill though onto Sledge. He was aiming a bit too low. Marco Polo coming into the corridor with a shotgun. Cannot do enough. Carnage will silence him out and secure the round for Myth to take this lead in overtime.
He's about to do some work over those grenades there. I think they were fully expecting the grenades to stop his movement, and he just walked over both of them.
Myth now on defense can select the bomb site they wish. And well, being one round up here in overtime, a score of 5 rounds to 4, are hoping to hold on to this basement one final time to take the map and then force another remake to go into map number 2 of Canal, but we'll deal with that in a moment. Strictly Business attack, once again running the same setup as they have been in the past. IQ and Ash as a pair of very fast attacking operators to clear the map. To clear the map together and take the drones with them. Tornado and Marco Polo, their 2 support operators, and Blackbeard just as Blackbeard.
Blackbeard is just black. He's BB.
I'm baby. What do you want me to do? I do whatever you want, baby. So, the Myth defense setting up with what should be, once again, some pretty static operators. Frost having their traps in places and, of course, can sit comfortably near and around them with their shotguns. And a lot of barbed wire to aim now too. Smoke comfortably inside the objectives with plenty of charges to help delay, but to be fair, haven't seen the most of use in the last couple of rounds. They got killed out before he had that opportunity. He's also an SMG smoke player, so we'll see if he can make the most of that. And then we still have Jay to run around like a lunatic on Jaeger, but mainly because those trophy systems are just too damn good. So, upstairs.
Lunatic. It's very well calculated.
Go Myth to begin their setups again. Most of their reinforcers are all on this floor above, which actually ends up leaving this red corridor very much exposed for the large part.
10 seconds to insertion.
So we'll see whether or not Strictly Business can exploit that once again like they did before. Digital finds a drone that spots him there in the meeting hall, will kill it and then reposition away, but repositions back when he deems safe. And then the attack will unfold from Strictly Business. So Marco Polo's drone sitting in the main tower while Digital actually runs all the way to the front of the site. And that allows Tornado to quickly come into this back tower. Does smash the door unopen. Then hide patiently in case someone's coming on through, but Menard has already taken down Silent Rage as he peeks straight out from the floors above, using these kids' bedroom windows to take him down. And that is Blackbeard off the table. He manages to come very quickly back down and into the basement itself, so doing his job. Getting that first kill and surviving. Surviving being the important point. Give his team that one-man advantage.
And it's Blackbeard, no less. It's not a bad first kill.
Ava now then looking to get quickly in through construction. He's got Perseus on the stairs behind him. He's now got Tornado. Nearly didn't have Perseus on the stairs behind him. Has Tornado had something to say about it? He's toying with the idea of taking that barbed wire out with the gadget, instead being told not to worry about it, and Tornado can either hammer it or grenade it or something, but mainly I just think they don't want to give away their position just yet. But they've already made a damn huge amount of holes, so they're worrying about that. So down comes Tornado and he will sledge it on open with the hammer. That gives Ava a clear pass forward. Where do you choose to go? You've droned a lot downstairs. You've got an idea of where people may be. Well, you're going to get it out. Use it. What are you doing?
I don't know.
It's like the fifth time he's picked it out
man.
and just hasn't figured out if he wants to shoot or not. There we go. And there's a trophy system there to stop it anyway.
All that
droning, all that waiting, and you couldn't do it. Menard then goes prone after hiding from the drone, and then there's so many missed shots from Ava, and it gives Menard a free kill. Myth comfortably holding on now, 5 rounds to 3. Smoke's not ideal, but it's have to do for now as the pressure is shortly unfolding from Tornado. Next one does go where he wants to do, but Tornado's going to come down the corridor. Doesn't realize on his right hand side there is a Jaeger. Menard is also then prone behind the bomb, shoots him in the feet. Jay stands up, misses, not enough. Tornado will go down. Perseus up top now has that trapdoor blown open thanks to Thermite, but they are both choosing to go elsewhere because dropping through there would be suicide. Digital is pushing through the meeting hall, will just be spotted by Perseus at the last second, but gets behind the table to safety. Perseus looking to push on through and does so successfully with an easy headshot to secure at least 1 kill for his team. Menard has been flashed out by Marco Polo, and he's good to push on in now as he's got that shotgun in hand. Knows that he's right behind there, sees Jay in the corner of the corridor as well. Jay there as he walks away and falls back, it's an easy headshot on one. In fact, no Jay gets the headshot Perseus after Perseus takes down Marco Polo and helps with the victory for map number 1 and Myth.
Oh yeah, Perseus just cut him apart.
No one else seems to have picked it up. By no one I mean none of the PC team. They're still very much set on the server control building and the map room and the kitchen underneath it. Despite the fact that, as we mentioned, vertical gameplay is very much in favor on, or in meta rather, on PC.
Right.
And both of those bomb sites get exposed to vertical gameplay heavily. This one, however, a little bit less so. It's still possible to do down the boat room underneath. You can still shoot through a lot of the floors and attack the people that are pinned inside the bomb site above you. But it's also very easy for roamers to play that floor below and decimate attackers with a little bit of coordination and teamwork between 2 people.
Yeah. The only downside is once you as the roamer are recognized down there, if the attacking team does decide to put a focus on you, yeah, of course you can still shoot through the floor, which makes you dangerous, but you're locked down by one path. There's nowhere. Once you go all the way down, you can only come back up in one place, and it doesn't take much to
Defenders, protect your
put
bombs from being
somebody
defused by
there to
attackers.
make sure that you cannot rotate back. So if they do manage to get the plant down, something like that, and your last players are in the basement, that's pretty much a good game.
Deployed wire.
So Tornado kicks the ball off by making a crawl hole between A and B, and they've also opened up the trapdoor within A to give a quick rotate down to the floor below if they need a way out of this room, which is all very possible should a Blackbeard or a Fuse, I mean not a Fuse in this game, but often you see Fuses picked on Xbox, start placing charge on these windows perhaps. Something there, and something that maybe pins a man in one corner and requires him to back down that hole. We'll see whether or not it is
10
used
seconds
later.
left.
The rest of the team then setting up a lot of barbed wire and a lot of these common doorways, and again underneath these windows. Not a whole lot being done actually by this
Attackers
doorway.
recovered the bomb diffuser.
Probably get a barbed wire
Attackers are
down there or
moving to
something.
defuse a bomb.
See? But it is a very tough way for anyone to come in and attack, and just going to put a frost trap down there instead. Tornado. Interesting.
Setting barbed wire.
There it is. 2 barbed wire now. So Myth starting with very close by spawns and are getting up towards this building very quickly and aggressively. Jay starts to crack open the door right here. And we've gone into the B site as Mina does the same. Looking at Marco Polo at the back of the room. They have a suspicion he's there. They don't know for sure. He's got that C4 in hand. Waiting to throw it in Mina's direction. Mina has already repositioned away and got off that specific window. He's gone to pick another one and look into the other side, see if there's someone else out of position and off guard for him to catch out. Digital and Beastly then still underneath these same windows, though, throwing things up and looking to pressure into B side. Well, Jay comes in the front door, but as soon as he peeks around that corner, there's 2 guns pointing his way. They are both shotguns. Marco Polo with the first kill around, then onto Jay. All because he did that peek without a man on either of these windows to give him side cover.
Fast. Not fast enough to outrun shotguns.
Up to the windows again. Mina goes. This time he's looking into the A site, but the shotgun blasts are rattling close to the window, but not on anywhere that he can return fire to. Frost still close in this corridor to Beastly. The trap and the barbed wire right inside the door have been killed off by a Ash charge, but there's still another piece of barbed wire further around the corner. They did manage to down Valkyrie inside B with a grenade, but she's not dead yet. Can still be revived if they can get on inside, and well, they won't 100% know that she's dead either. Outside, Frost peeks on out, does manage to down Thermite. They're going to go for a quick revive. Frost managed to get back inside safely. Now Carnage is going to peek up just as Tornado gets back around the corner. He's inside in the barbed wire, and it's an easy kill once he makes that noise. Now Digital's going to come in and walk straight into the barrel of the shotgun. Peeks on out to Thermite again. This time misses so many shots and will pay for it with his life. But Beastly is still, of course, at half health after being revived. Tornado has been finished off within the site, but with 50 seconds on the clock now, Beastly has got to get inside, and Minard is killed out on the window right next to him. So it's now 3v1 as the camera watching his advance. Ava is ready for him to come straight around this corner. Peeks on out, gets inside B successfully, but there's a crawl hole, and now 2 people coming through his doorway. Misses most of his initial shots. He's going to push forward for the second man, and they butt heads, and Ava comes out on top. Strictly Business successfully defending them for round number 1 without really breaking a sweat.
A lot to be said for that. You know, it's easy to watch, but in the event that you let it slide, it can be absolutely devastating for what could be a great attacking push.
So there we go. Chosen and picked.
Attackers need to locate and
off they go with the
bombs if they
defense.
can.
Now they have proven to enjoy the C4 between bomb sites to make a crawl hole. We'll see whether or not they put it on this wall shortly, or if they end up making a shotgun crawl hole instead. This is often a very important wall, but it started to become a little bit less of a priority for teams.
Right. Kind of reinforce it, maybe throw some batteries down and forget. And I don't know, I also like the 3 drop downs. Gives it a lot of rotation ability. And
10 seconds to
again, though,
insertion.
it's so risky to rotate in this map because every time that you head downstairs, your
5 seconds to insertion.
direction back up becomes that one staircase.
Attackers
So it's kind
have
of like a
recovered their
risky
diffuser.
trade-off.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
We'll find out, and this is exactly the stairs we talked about where teams had sat a shotgun and just dominated in the past.
Yep.
So let's see whether or not they can continue.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Strictly Business spawning in towards construction and get right up to the building quickly. Ava already now looking at that kitchen doorway and cracking his way in as Marco Polo's drone in there before him. There is one man on that floor waiting for him though, until smoke goes upstairs, making it him the sole man. Jay just sitting here and waiting.
Attackers recovered the
Watching
bomb
the doorway
diffuser.
though, it is reinforced up. And well, David's going to have to make a bit more noise on his way in. He has now got IQ there to join and help him out as well if he wishes. Cracks it open, goes on straight in, sees Jay at the far end and will win out on the firefight this time over. Tornado, of course, with drone there, but with the trapdoor open right above him, he's shut down quickly and easily from Beastly. With him trying to push forward for the diffuser. Beastly dodges away as the window's cracked open behind him just in time to save IQ's life. Perseus was being a little bit overly aggressive there too, perhaps. And, well, he does get away with it thanks to a bit of luck. So, as things slow down a little way, Silent Rage is watching that connector and looking for someone to step out of spot. Beastly's just there to his left, but he didn't quite see it. And will now run up towards the roof. They're cracking open the thermite wall.
Tarp,
close
right?
by.
That's what we were going to call that?
Tarp, yeah, okay. Tarp. And that gives Tornado a chance to drop one down. He will now look towards the floor below and keep this room clear so that Silent Rage can sit on these windows comfortably without being shot from underneath or behind. He does begin to throw a couple of flashbangs into the back of the room and then immediately just not move. Meenon is right on the other side of the window as he cracks it open, and I mean, I'm surprised he didn't actually get a melee kill there, but does get the free shot
close
into the backside afterwards. Stands on up, and as soon as he does so, Carnage is there waiting for him, and most of those shots rattle off his shield, and now Rook is low and pinned behind the server desks, waiting for the push to come in the front of the room, and it does come, and it's Marco Polo that will pay the price as Carnage gets a nice easy headshot. Can he keep his heads down again as now Tornado is looking to come forward again, but what a shot there from Tornado. Takes Carnage down and then will allow the plant to begin. Perseus changes his mind and actually sprints straight on in as the C4 comes and lands next to him. Tornado not so lucky, taken down quickly with it. Beastly come on in, does finish off the down big Blackbeard already. 10 seconds on the clock, Digital now coming up the stairs. Perseus has pulled off the diffuser. All he's got to do is wait for 4 seconds. Goes through the hole that's already been pulled. If Perseus comes off now, it's game over, and it doesn't matter because Digital will blow him away with his shotgun to the face. And Myth are on the board. 1 round apiece then, each team successfully defending their bomb sites. Came down to the wire there for Myth at the end, but gets the job done all the same.
And it was a good idea, I think, going for that second fake plant. Just a better idea to not push him until he knew damn well that he had to commit to it.
There it is.
Fuse coming out.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a fuse tonight.
Literally just before the remake, talked about how sometimes it's picked and it's common. And you're right, we hadn't seen it, but now we have.
Yep.
Picked as they head towards the server room and the control room. And well, Myth on attack then. We'll be able to use that to clean out. I suspect we're going to see a heavy B push here from Myth because of this
Need to locate
pick.
and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Now, teams have shown that they don't seem to really like putting a Blackbeard on these balconies, which is a bit weird in its own right, but when you're using it on the back windows instead, I can't fault too badly.
Right. If you're using it on a window, you know what? You pick the window. But again, I do feel
yeah, just on these windows.
that it's just that angle there. I mean, you have 2 massive lanes, especially if Ash or somebody opens up that wall, or if the defending team opens up this wall we're looking at right now. I mean, Blackbeard has a straight shot through into B and A.
Yeah, that's why I think some teams put them on these windows instead, and then gets the angle anyway.
Right. But you lose that that secondary angle that goes through the hallway. And
Yeah,
down
but what I was
to B.
going to say is now with the fuse pick, he can play in this spot and still be a pretty tough target to kill because of his 3 armor.
Right.
And before breaking the window open, or even before at all, he can go to these back windows and fuse charge in the back of the room when he then peeks here, or peeks here, and can use it to displace and shake people off the sides.
Or you can fuse those back. Well, yeah, of course, you could plant them over there, rotate
Plant the back,
around.
run to the front,
Right.
blows
so
it.
he forces them into his own trap. Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. As is, though, now Strictly Business has got a lot of players on the floors below for defense, as they have commonly done from other games. And well, right now they've all been droned out. They have C4 to rotate hole here for Perseus out into the map room from this little CCTV hole. Beasley's drone is inside. Model Digital's there too, running away from Tornado. How are they going to deal with this? Because they could, and it's not unheard of, storm the floors above through all of these windows. I mean, people have been asking for synchronized breaches for quite a while now.
Right.
You stick a player in every window on this top floor and go in. You may lose 1 or 2 in the process, but you kill Marco Polo and Strict Silent Rage, and then you got all 5 players on that top floor, and it's suddenly Tornado, Perseus, and Ava that have to push back up into your hold.
Up to one staircase, which one player could defend.
Mm-hmm.
One player with a little bit of decent aim is going to prevent anyone from coming up those stairs.
So
Just hard to push stairs.
let's see what they do. Tornado has now positioned back up to the floor above, as they've wasted enough of the time, and frankly Myth have done a whole lot of nothing with that time. Digital is trying to find Perseus. Carnage now is going to go up to the window next to him, actually go to the floor above. Will now place his fuse charge inside A. It's going to go off harmlessly, not touching a soul. Does cover the room quite well though, but no one's in there anymore anyway. And then on the floor below, another one went off. Seems to be one in this one spot.
Fused him.
Yeah, Ava though picking up the first kill onto Menard before Jay will immediately trade back onto Ava, so he does take down Blackbeard, but at the price of Jaeger. Ava though grabbing that kill helps clean out this floor, but it's clean now because most of Strictly Business have head up to the floor above again. Once more, Carnage nearly gets a melee kill straight up on Tornado, but doesn't realize how close he was this time, and well, probably lucky because it would have been a shotgun to his face if he had. Perseus taken down by Digital, but not before Marco Polo can trade out Beastly, and once again we're going 1 for 1 and tit for tat. So with 30 seconds on the clock, it's going to be close. Marco Polo goes for another crazy aggressive push outside. And Carnage is just far enough away to survive the 2 shotgun blasts and get the kill for himself. Silent Rage though will trade Digital out, and in through the window comes Carnage straight into Tornado's shotgun. He knew he was there and was ready and pre-aiming it, but couldn't land the lucky headshot he required. Now with 15 seconds on the clock, Jay's got to come through this window and walk straight onto a frost trap if he even gets in past Silent Rage, and that is not done.
It's a big if, and it's also a no.
Nice hold in from Strictly Business. They were so spread out and unsure about their positions down below that Myth couldn't push in and didn't push in to do anything with them. Waited so long they went, all right, well, we're done waiting down here. We're going to go back upstairs. You've got to go through your finding us process all over again.
Right.
Ran out of time, and then were picked off as they pushed in 1 by 1.
Yeah, definitely seemed to shuffle Myth up enough to make them kind of forget about going in at all as a team. And again, just kind of shuffling in like, well, I can't figure out where anybody is, so here I go.
So back into second round of defense for Myth. Kitchen and projector room is where they choose to go. Of course, Strictly Business with the team that went across to the other building. This is only Myth's second defensive round after having done the floor above before. And Xbox is the console we've started to see teams defend the floor above as normal, but blow open these 2 trapdoors to give themselves ways to rotate out afterwards. Not always too successful. We've seen teams completely droned off the floor and forced to run away without doing any damage, and then this floor is given complete control to their opponents with 2 completely free open trapdoors to fire down through. And sure enough, the job is done and the round is won. But Myth have shown they've got a couple of interesting techniques in mind. Digital with his shotgun can be very aggressive as well.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
let's see how they choose to play. And right now, none of them are being reinforced, and I do,
Attackers
in
will
some
cover the
ways,
diffuser. Attackers'
like the
objective
not
is to locate a
reinforcing but
bomb
not
and defuse it.
opening.
Yeah.
But Jay will then come up and do at least one of them a little bit later on, possibly run over to the other one in a moment once he's finished with the barbed wire setups inside the server room. Down below then, Beastly is still holding tight. Carnage is sitting on top of this desk, which is a very tough spot for her to shift him from. And Digital running from window to window. But as these windows are getting opened up from quite a range, and he is, of course, still prepping his cameras to throw them outside, he has to be very cautious about how close he gets to them. Ava, lucky for him, did not spot this flying over his head as he came around that corner. Digital is prone right next to that window, but of course he is in the cover of the desks. While those shots look to be straight on the silhouette, Jaeger is actually behind the desk, and again, safe from those shots. But
He doesn't seem to think so.
spray. Nope, he doesn't seem to.
People
He
have
runs
nothing to
away,
do
and
with
he
that
does
anymore.
run straight into Tornado's arms, but Jay managed to react fast enough to pick up the kill. And while Ash did her job, it did not work out. At the same time, Digital is just taking down the thermite, so that's big for holding the top floor. Now it doesn't even matter if they give it up so much. The trapdoor is going to stay closed. The one by Jay, though, isn't reinforced, so he needs to hold this a little bit tighter. But as they are now 5v3, they can comfortably play safe. Digital downed and revived by Doc to get back up to full 50 health. Basically, Solo Man holding inside kitchen. And Perseus is watching the connector on the floor above and the stairwell. Ava's going to go drone and try and find them the Jaeger. They want to try and deal with him. The feet are spotted by Silent Rage, and that will down him. Can't be sure that that's happened till Ava drones him out. He's still also not sure. He just knows he's behind the desk. He knows he's hurt and he's very cautious of it, but as they're down to 1 minute and 15, they need to speed up dealing with him. They're even going to use a flashbang on him too. And a second one. And then he'll be killed off as they spray through the wall, but a lot of resources expended on just one player when there's still 4 others alive. Let's see if they can make this work. Down to 55 seconds and tripping over each other's feet as they try and make this move. Digital holding close. Digital on the window is going to peek out and find Silent Rage. Does a lot of damage, but again, the range is a bit too much for his shotgun to really make it stick. Ava dropping through the trapdoor, however, is close enough for Digital to make it work, and now Silent Rage is back in the same spot. What? And that time he's got more than enough damage left. Perseus finally pushes in and deals with him, but now he's got to find 3 people all on his own.
Silent Rage. Why would you
go back on there? Yeah.
You were so lucky to be alive that first. There's no reason he should have survived. And he chose to do it.
Rook on the stairs, and while it's a nice attempt from Perseus to sprint across him, take him down, couldn't land the important shots and puts most of them into the wall. Smokes are also coming out because when you hit that last 30 seconds, you can just delay that doorway for all 30 of them. And there was no chance that IQ was going to win that round. And we do head on over to what is now technically a 2-2 draw. Strictly business then. Back onto the bomb site they successfully held for round number 1. The Coast Guard office and the holding room, the other side of the map. Came down to a lot of people charging into shotguns again without proper teamwork and proper cover from multiple angles. They had players on a lot of windows, but then the pushes came in as those players dropped off to reload or dropped off to reposition, and that gave the shotguns a free deal to shoot down and kill any target that came their way, and then came to such a man advantage that we saw Frost feeling very confident with their aggression. Leaking straight on outside to pick up what was a near triple kill.
We know a lot of players think that shotguns are a little overpowered or a little too strong, or that they should have a limit or something, but we've seen shotguns be handled perfectly fine by teams that don't sweat it, realize that their teams are going to pick 2, 3, 4 shotguns and adjust accordingly. I mean, we've seen the heavy shotgun strategies tried on maps like Bank and be totally miserable in effectiveness, but this seems to be just a lot of feeding right into what gives the shotguns their best advantage.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Here's the complete setup. Once more Tornado in this last minute. Traps and barbed wires at the far end.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Place device. Device set.
And then we'll comfortably sit as a 4-man
Reservoir going up.
inside the A site. They do once again blow that trapdoor down towards the basement. Perseus will fall on through it to hold safe. Now Tornado's opening the hole between the bomb sites, so it's a little bit late. They're getting it done. Jay, right up to the door again, has droned in and is comfortable to do a couple of bashes on that door. Now he's actually letting Buck lead the charge on in. Carnage there first. Ava close, but Tornado's going to come down just like he did before and blows Jay right out of the water. And it's an easy kill, realizing that he's got so many people watching that second time around, he will not repeat it, and 1 kill's all he could have hoped for. Taking out Ash as well would have helped out, cleaning this barbed wire and trap, so Carnage is forced to use both grenades on it instead. Well, it has completely missed the barbed wire and the trapdoor as he flew it straight over the top and down to the corridor. So they still have to deal with getting that out of the way when they try and come up, and both Tornado and Marco Polo are sitting there with shotguns, and this is the result. Myth immediately realizing that going down that way is not going to happen, and they rotate towards the front of the building. Minard then still on these windows over A, looking in as best he can, but everyone is staying well hidden from him. Silent Rage is the man still in the site, but is comfortably tucked away. He will take out that trophy system with a couple of flashbangs and get the third one off. Another follow-up. Silent Rage taken out by that grenade. It downs him in the backside of the room. Next one will come on over and doesn't actually finish him, so he's just downed inside there. They will not realize this unless they see him crawling away, and may still think they're up against 5 people. He in fact crawls down to the basement successfully, and that means Perseus is going to revive him, and they are against 5 people again. Digital cracks open the doorway right at the far side of the A site, and that allows Valkyrie to reposition to try and deal with him, but finally Minard sees a man and puts him down. He will get downed himself though as he comes on into the room, and that's 2 very quick kills then for Strictly Business from below. Perseus grabbing one and Rook grabbing the other, and Beastly now has to try and deal with 4 people looking into the corridor. Just misses Ava's feet there, and Ava's going to see his feet and redeal the fire, and Tornado peeks from the side at the same time. Secures it, and it is round number 4. Strictly Business showing they know this bomb site inside and out. And as soon as you rotate away from that back far stair doorway, which they know you're going to do because it is very well defended,
Then you gone.
then they are easily there to rotate back and deal with you. 3 rounds to 2 in favor of Strictly Business then, as they now look on to attack the server room and the control room again. Came down to the wire last time.
Yep.
See if they've learned anything from this one, and if they can do a better job. For our first off-stream game, first map was Consulate, and Elevate won it 5 rounds to 0. So AGG once again having a tough time taking any kind of points out of that game, but the second map is still young, and we'll see. What I'm hearing is it is currently 3 rounds to 2 in AGG's favor on their second map, so there is still hope for them to secure a point from that game.
And a tie against Elevate wouldn't be bad for them at all.
Well, I mean, technically they are 7th and 8th in the league right now.
True.
So while Elevate is an impressive name, thanks to where they did last season,
They have not been shown
this team is not quite the same.
Yeah.
So now the Myth defense is all in place and set up for the floors above again. They've cracked a couple of trapdoors to give good quick rotates to the floors below. And Jay is going to be the man down there with Minard. Minard though last time around went very quickly back up the top. This time he's cracking open the doorway towards construction, and there are a couple of players heading in this direction. He's not quite looking at the right spot though, and does get away before they spot the holes he has made. And then goes back on upstairs, leaving Jay down there alone again.
RTB active, camera feed. If it runs on batteries,
Gets it away with it. Marco Polo is now droning into the kitchen next to him, so he's going to be found pretty soon. Hides tucked away in the corner. Silent Rage then is on the window next to him. There we go. Marco Polo's drone spots him. He's going to use a lot of ammo up trying to deal with him. Tornado's in the model room. Got a perfect kill hole straight through to here where Jay is if Jay's not careful. Ava was coming in from kitchen. Silent Rage is on the window at the back. They're doing a good job of surrounding Jay this time. Can they actually shut him out and lock him away?
stay clear of the blast.
Attackers are dropping
That corner again. Tornado is spraying to him on the right, but misses a lot of his shots, and he gets the safety and down in the corner. Marco Polo drone is going to see him there again. Now Ava is very close, and he focuses on the drone instead, and that's an easy kill for Ava because of it. So a minute 35, and they do get that kill locked. This time around, though, there's no one able to immediately trade the kill back. Carnage doesn't quite see Ava's head through that hole. They have, however, traded Silent Rage out as he was focusing on the upper windows while this team dealt with that threat from below. Throwing that grenade right underneath the thermite wall to take out any defenses they may have to stop this charge going off, or any bandits that might have been there. Turns out there are none, but they are not ready to blow the wall open just yet. Tornado comes up now to cover any push that may arrive from this red building and help Marco Polo. Not looking that way at all, but now Marco feels comfortable enough to put this down anyway.
Reloading.
There's Ava takes Beasley out. Beasley dropping into the kitchen from above, trying to catch the Strictly Business players by surprise, but it's not going to work. Ava doesn't quite see the head of Digital there at the top of those stairs, but he is waiting patiently for someone to try and come up them. The man advantage still for the Strictly Business attacking lineup here. But Flashbang will slow Digital down. He's now going to try and peek on out through this doorway. Tornado blows it open right at that point. And it's a free double kill. They weren't ready for it. C4 goes in to where he thinks the planter's going to be, but that's not the case, as Perseus was actually still on the roof above. 10 seconds on the clock now. He comes in to join Ava, and they're going to try and push into B instead, but he gets shot in the back just as he tries to come through. Menard is now the last man standing, and all he's got to do is stay alive for 2 more seconds. He peeks up into Ava. Neither of them can land the shots in time, and the defenders do successfully hold the round. Menard, all he had to do was run away.
Yeah, that was, again, the aggression from both teams. It's just a lot of, just why? Why are you doing that? You know you're the last player alive. You know if you survive, they lose by time. They don't have the diffuser. There's no way they're going to recover it in time. And if they do, then that's when you sprint up there and go in like a maniac. Yeah. But again, just almost cost him. All Ash had to do is put a couple of bullets on target to have that one easily.
So, Strictly Business back to a 3-3 scoreline, and are now looking to hold the server control room. This is playing out very similarly to the first map, which
Not too
kind of expected. Because of the way they played, because of their aggression without really any concern for backup,
right,
and the lack of teamwork it caused. These rounds are still just flying back and forth with no clear divide between the two squads. And this map is played in a very similar fashion to the first one that was played. That first one, of course, being Oregon.
Yeah, because we've seen plenty of aggression from plenty of great teams that has...
5 seconds left.
It may seem just like, why are you doing that? But then they always have that fault. They always have that trade ready to go. You know, we saw some of the teams from Europe earlier today with the whole team's getting almost as many assists as they do kills, which says a lot to their teamwork. You know, if every single kill is landing with somebody else picking up points for it, that means they're 2 versus 1ing all the time.
Yeah.
And we're not really seeing that same type of... With teams this aggressive, you'd think you'd see a lot of assists. You'd see a lot of, all right, let's make sure that we have a backup here. But it's kind of just, now I'm going to run outside.
Perseus then, with Ava on the floor below the bomb site, have been droned out. Tornado, though, on the other bomb site, in the other building here, hasn't been. So we'll see whether or not he can make any kind of impact and come back to punish the attacking Myth squad right now, as they have given up really looking at that other site at all.
Bomb located by attackers.
Marco Polo right on the inside of that window. Docks away from the flashbangs as they come wrapping in. He ultimately gets to safety without his position being known. Digital now coming up to join 2, and the window being open here has given Menard cause for concern, and rightfully so, as Marco Polo actually dropped down very close to it for a second.
Stay clear.
Was taking a lot of damage. And now he's looking to come out and peek, and Menard has looked away from it just as he does so, and he makes the correct call that Silent Rage didn't earlier on. He looked straight down scope straight away, and that gives him the range he needed to get that kill with ease. Silent Rage also picked up Digital elsewhere. Now he's going to come and peek out from this death corridor while Silent Rage has been killed in the back of the room. He's going to get in through the thermited room himself. It's flanked beautifully, but it's missing way too many shots and only gets 1 kill before being turned on.
A beautiful flank too.
Tornado now coming into the connector, finds 1, survives the initial shots and gets a kill of his own. Perseus now in the other building has to come and rejoin his team, while Aver and Tornado are the 2 holding inside. Beastly has killed 1, but will immediately get traded out from the second, and Strictly Business once again go back up into the lead 4 rounds to 3.
And Aver makes this look really easy here, but that we've seen time and time again that once one player decides to play behind that desk, it is hard to kill them. They have a lot of moving space, and you pretty much have to hit them in the face. So it's a great job by Aver to finish it up.
So Strictly Business Need one more attack round to end this game as it is. And take a point each.
And they're up by just one, correct? So it's either
Yes,
another overtime.
they're up 4-3. So
Yeah.
if this round is taken by Myth, we will have another overtime situation and remake required. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Because now Myth are defending the kitchen and the projector room underneath where Strictly Business just were. The bomb site which Strictly Business are not new to, because to be fair, most of their defense of the upper floor just took place on this floor.
Time to armor up.
So
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
we'll see if they can use that to their advantage as the Myth defense takes shape and forms out in a similar fashion to before. Now last time around they reinforced just the trapdoor here in server when they were defending the floor above and left the one open here in control.
I think I would like to see the other one above A reinforced instead if you're going to do one.
I'll leave the one in B open at all, because that doesn't give quite as terrifying of an angle when you look down
10
through it.
seconds
Right,
left
and it's
before
not.
insertion.
I mean, all of B can be opened up anyway, and rarely do we actually
5
see
seconds
attackers
left.
drop down through the drop down so much as play just the top floor for the angles
Attackers
they
will
can
cover
get
the
down.
bomb diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
So right now Digital is on the other building, throwing a camera out through some windows. Up above is Jay and Menard again. Just comfortably watching these windows and making a couple of openings to scare Strictly Business, and it does force Silent Rager to pre-fire that window slightly. They know at the very least where Blackbeard spawned and which direction he's coming from. Give that knowledge as you will. Strictly Business then now have Tornado in this other building. He's cautious and looking around for what could be a camera or something.
Bomb located by
He's
attackers.
thrown outside instead. He's just going to drone in towards the kitchen. See Beastly hiding around that corner. Doing what he can to save his drone. Get it away. Tries to jump it through. No, not quite. As Marco Polo will now drone for Tornado down through this corridor in towards the model and across the sky bridge.
Deploying barbed wire.
And hit his way in. Here, Ava cracking open the top floor. Perseus will actually sprint straight on in and kill Jay. In fact, he was moving through the connector to get that kill. Now Menard's in a similar spot and he's firing onto IQ, which means hiss can happen. It's going to get flanked from behind by both Blackbeard and Ash were coming that way. Blackbeard will down him just through the wall, and Ash will then go through and finish him off to deal with it. 3 defenders now left standing for Myth, and they're all on the floor below. Tornado going to try and creep in through Model, but Myth lands, or Carnage rather, does not land enough important shots and back walks away alive and intact. Digital now going to push out towards him, gets past the man on the stairs.
Good.
Tornado is going to get away with it as he turns his focus on Thermite instead. And he comes around the corner as there's only 1 shot left in Digital Shotgun. He has to start the reload. Now the grenade is there waiting for him. He throws the C4 in the doorway instead. And meanwhile, Beastly has killed down Perseus, so it is back to a 3v2, sorry.
Laying down some smoke.
2 more players still upstairs.
Drones up and running.
Poor little Tornado is pinned in this
Oh,
room, and he
heard
pulls the
pill,
grenade,
heard the pin.
and he pushes into it because of it. Beastly then inside A. Silent Rage outside B now, cracking the window open and can come inside if he's quick. Ava still above this trapdoor, knows Beastly's there somewhere. Gets away safely. If he wants to drop through, there's a frost trap, which he does just about spot. But they need to go back to dealing as a pair. 18 seconds on the clock, and Ava, suddenly realizing he has no easy way down there, is in a very, very tight spot. Digital goes out into the car park. He's got to drop through this trapdoor, which means he needs to find where Beastly is, or he's going to drop straight into a shotgun, and that's exactly what happens. Silent Rage now comes inside and has to try and deal with him, but at the range, all he can do is down him. Doesn't know where Digital is, and it's not going to happen, and Strictly Business just threw away an easy round.
Thought they had the perfect setup for a 5v3.
Perfect setup for 5v3, and even though they went down to then ending being in a 2v2, they had those 2 players locked to the far end of the building.
Right.
They could have gone straight onto B, but Ash spent so long above that A trapdoor just trying to
get
find
the
that
kill,
guy. It's
trying
like,
to get the
no,
kill.
go and join up with your teammate who has control of the B-bomb site.
you still
get
have
on in there,
Blackbeard.
and yeah, it's a Blackbeard in the window that can watch you perfectly from both the doorways where these guys could push from.
Right.
And you could have got the plant down. But they didn't do it, and as a result, we hit overtime.
But it sounds like on the other stream, AGG managed to pick up
A map.
a map.
AGG win the second map 5 rounds to 2 on Chalet, as it was. And, well, as a result, get a point in their first of the season from that game. So Elevate versus AGG is a 1-1 draw. Strictly Business then for the first round of their overtime defense are happy to come back to this same bomb site they started the map and their campaign on. And, well, so far they are yet to lose here. So we'll see if that stays true here for overtime and gives them that first round advantage getting on in. They, of course, also want to salvage a point out of this game. And need this map to do so.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Laying out the rocket mat.
Deploying dry site. Device positioned.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
Node activated.
Loading mag!
So, Digital heading towards lower levels with the drone in front of him to get in to the boat room, but there is just the one man, or was just the one man down there with him. It was Perseus, but he gets back up the stairs just in time for the push to come in from Myth, from Jay and Digital being the first two in that way. Drone then going to drone a little bit more as well. I can't drone a bit more as Jay has already taken a beating from somewhere.
Deploying drone.
Digital hops in, and do believe it is this man through this trapdoor that put that beating down onto Jay. A couple more shots are traded out onto Digital through the other trapdoor from up above. So while Myth are trying to clear this floor below, they are taking a punishing for it. Another testament to Strictly Business's hold on this particular bomb site. How well they know it. Digital then looking up through the trapdoor, knows exactly where Rook is hiding, cooks the grenade, throws it straight up, comes straight down, but Rook, without even knowing it was coming, has long gone. Second one goes off and just takes him low, but nothing too serious, and he shrugs it off and hides himself in his second corner. Both grenades now gone. Minute 20 on the clock now, and they've got to find some way up. They yet to find any kills to their name, and right now Menard once again on this window hasn't found a single man that he can punish for being out of position. And to be fair, Rook running all the way across the room, as he did to get away from those grenades, is the perfect opportunity for Menard to jump on and get a kill as Blackbeard, but he couldn't do that.
Watch for the blast.
Perseus picks up the first kill onto Digital as he comes right in through the top floor and didn't check there. Jumps straight on in, and Perseus grabbed himself an easy headshot because of it. Marco Polo now hiding close in here to Rook between the two sites. Tornado has dropped into the floor below, so after everyone thinks they've cleared out that floor, he is now going to be able to flank from them again, and they've got to watch from behind. Menard is now coming in from the windows again, and is going to immediately take down a teammate, I believe. Blackbeard came in firing, and the next person to get downed was Jay, so
Yeah, I think he shot Jay
pretty
down
sure he
with
shot
fire.
Jay down, and that there is Tornado's flank up from behind, takes Beastly down as he comes from the upper stairs. Diffuser is in Carnage's hand. He has also revived Jay, but he's going to begin the plant in the back corner. Jay, though, Mush is a little bit too far forward with no time left on the clock, gets shut down with ease. The plant will get completed by Carnage, but to his left side there's a player, and to his front is a player. Does down the man in the front, but Tornado comes around to his left and gets an easy shotgun blast to finish him. And there's the defuse coming out for Strictly Business to once again secure a hold on this building. And they definitely have this bomb site locked down. It's the first real hint of a proper strategy, I feel, from these two squads.
Yep, although
And they've earned it.
It has been predominantly defense wins anyway, but yeah, this was by far the strongest set up defense. Like, it looked good.
Yeah, like they had players above the trapdoors looking up predictable entranceways.
Right.
They were ready with the players below. As soon as the players dealt with below and started to move up, they dropped down, ready to flank them. They held their spots and they stayed in them.
Right. They had Blackbeard on their team.
Yes, Blackbeard was on their team. That really helped out a lot too. Dealing with Ash for them, pesky operator that she is. And yeah. Now it is time to see if Myth can hold it out. They are also happy to continue with this bomb site as their next selection then, without needing a remake for overtime, and all Strictly Business need to do is successfully attack it once, and they are sealed.
It's easier said than done, it seems, judging by how this has gone.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
But they just about had it last time. Couple key mistakes that threw the round for them. That last attack. Otherwise, this map will pretty much be going the way we usually expect Plane to go. Just a whole bunch of defense rounds until it ends.
Yep. Which is inherently backwards. This game is skewed in attacker favor.
Yes. Again, I think it's as teams start to play together, attacking becomes the far
10
stronger
seconds to insertion.
gameplay. There's I think there is a skill gap to
5
defending
seconds to
that
insertion.
there is not for attacking.
That being said, I think
Attackers
tomorrow's
bomb diffuser.
Capcan changes
Attackers must locate
Could
and
change
defuse
that.
may
bombs.
actually start skewing the game slightly back to the defense sided.
It's a lot of
In
traps.
pro play like
Attackers have
this,
recovered their diffuser.
where 3 minutes is a deal.
Yes.
In ranked on console and on PC and in matchmaking and casual, when it's still 4 minutes, it's still stupid attack sided because 4 minutes is way too much time. But that's a whole other discussion. Jay then in the other building right now, hiding right down in the basement, hidden away as best he can. There is a drone currently going through the lockers and the showers behind him. Let's see
Attackers have located a bomb.
if he can do any damage with that. Ava is already in towards the model room while the drones are working their way through the rest of the building for him. Tornado is on the roof of the red brick building, cracking open a couple of windows. And Carnage will immediately put him down. That was a very nice shot from the back of servers, from the back of control. No Tornado's going to be on that roof, and he was ready and watching for the peek around and shuts him down. Now at the same time, Marco Polo's gone over to that angle, peeking the same spot. But this time Carnage is staying in and safe, knowing that all they have to do is just wait it on out. Strictly Business have timed out rounds here in the past. And while his team is now pressuring in underneath for him and watching this corridor, which has been a big thing for Digital to just sprint out of, he feels confident enough to plant a charge
A bomb has been
on that wall
located.
to blow it open, and they do now have that sideline in if he wishes to use it. Right now, Silent Rage has come around to the spot we asked him to be at earlier on, and sure enough, picks up a first kill onto Menard. Taking smoke out of the equation is potentially big. Digital still in there with his shotgun though. Beastly still inside B with his. Ava watching the model room, but here comes Jay peeking out from the other building. He's going to crack this on open and see Ava there hovering on the window, and it's an easy kill. Doesn't even need to hang around and look up for Marco Polo to be above. Gets away, gets to safety, and it's now 4v3 in favor of his squad. And with 40 seconds on the clock, that is big. We've seen bigger disadvantages thrown away in this game already. Silent Rage still looking for someone inside B, and then he's going to rappel on up. Digital and Beastly holding the back of the room with their shotguns. As soon as the window's cracked open, they fire a couple of shots off and keep it clean. Silent now takes out the frost trap underneath the window. Jay's going to come up those stairs in just a moment. There's two people now here at this window. Beastly is going to be on the inside to the right. Sees him, and he does get down quickly. But Jay came up the stairs, gets the second man in. As Digital takes Beastly down with his C4. Now he pushes into the connector and straight into the shotgun blast. IQ is the last man standing. She gets one, but there's immediately Jay there to answer it. And the sheer numbers for Myth secure themselves overtime round number 2 and force us into what will now be the final round of this map.
I got nothing. It's kind of just a repeat every round of the same thing. That's just, there's not really any organization to either team's attack. Both teams can defend just fine. They know what to do. They know where to put the reinforcements. They know where to sit. They know where to stand. And they know that the attack team's not really going to have much of anything coming in. That's what we've seen for seems all 10 rounds so far. Just a lot of defense wins. Which is definitely interesting because we've, on this map especially, seen a lot of defenses just get absolutely decimated time and time again. It's usually, like you said, the opposite direction, where it's kind of just a lot of attack wins and then hoping one team can manage to hold that one defense round and throw it into their favor.
This round will decide it all. Strictly business up to the server and control room to try and hold it. They had a good round the last time they held here, because they finally stayed a bit more static. And they played well on the floors below. But ultimately, it was Myths that kind of threw the round away. Let's see if they've learned from that lesson, but as you mentioned, this round, this entire map so far would suggest that is not the case. Once more, we have got rotate holes blown in the maps room and the rooms below for teams and roamers that want to be there. Perseus has gone straight on up to the top of the red brick building and then repositioned away. I think he's just blown some, he's cracked open some doors and has done the same here on the bridge just to scare people that see it, and then go back into his little hole. And there's a couple of last second reinforces. On the attacking squad, Jay is already up on that roof, Bixley is on the other one, and Digital is coming across the join. They will crack this wall open quickly as they bring Thermite right on over. They're going for something different here now. They're cracking this open very fast and then getting back to the other roof instead of waiting 20 minutes to do that. Digital is watching through the corridor for the push to come on out, and Whitey didn't get the kill, was ready and does scare Frost back. Now feels comfortable droning it. How the hell that got inside, I don't know. Throws it at the bricks and it's in the corridor. Perfectly threaded through those solid concrete bricks. Catches the man in the connector and then the man at the back of the control desks. Gets it away. It's going to stand up and be cautious. Now Menard is going to be running straight through his cross edge, which is less than wonderful. It works. Perseus, though, underneath was not found out and does get a beautiful shot up through that trapdoor onto Digital. Yep. Taking down Sledge, taking down the grenades, and going to halt the push a little bit more, but not as much. Blackbeard does come straight in and down him. Ava, though, at the same time has killed off one, while Digital killed another. Beastly will find one of his own. And now Marco Polo just blasting shotgun shells in towards that hole. Does manage to down one more player, and it's only Blackbeard left standing. He does manage to turn the down onto Marco Polo. But there goes Perseus. He's going straight across the other building, looking to get up onto the roof. They are now 4v2. Up he goes, pre-peeks outside, doesn't make any noise, misses a lot of shots, but will eventually do the job onto Menard. He is so far ahead that he's confident to look for the next peak. No, he's just going to wait. Beastie's gone inside. They're looking for the revive, but he's a bit too late, and Ava gets off the revive and gets the kill and seals Strictly Business map number 2.
That's all she wrote. Another defense round.